Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. I'm here with day 22 of Junk Journal Round Robin. So let's get into it. I won't do the whole spiel because I've been doing this for 22 days. You know, you can find what you need in my description box. So this is from Mary Ellen. A lovely little sticker that will just pop over here. Wow, green bird. Oh, these are amazing birds. How funny, because I'm actually I'm working on a journal with some lovely birds in it right now, and these are gorgeous. I love this green bird so much. Oh, I had the prettiest visitor this morning at a really bright goldfinch at my feeder. It's a nice day. I just got both kids off ready for school, and they are so we should have a quiet morning to work. They're being total silly heads. This is from Shell. Oh my goodness, how adorably sweet. Oh my goodness. We have a Sesame Workshop monster. That's adorable. That's pretty sunshiny. And it goes with the green bird. Oh, and we have some of this painty paper towel. Okay. So I think we will do something cute with her. She's adorable. Sesame Workshop introduced the Muppet Carly this past spring to speak to children in foster care or whose parents are substance abusers. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay. We like her. I'm actually going to use the envelope as well. So what I'm going to start with is just gluing this down because I need to thicken it. And maybe I won't use the envelope for that part because I don't want two pieces. I want one piece. Oh. You know, I just had a thought, actually. I think I'm going to use one of my glove boxes, too. Oh, no, I can't. It's too small. I know. No. Hold on. I'm going to get one supply. Give me a minute. Okay, so Treasury of Flowers album. I want to get one of these that would work nicely here with this piece. And I think it'll be this one. We clearly have a tear that happened somehow here in this book. So let's just separate this. There we go. Okay. Then these actually come apart. They're two. Usually they do anyways. Let me see. This one could be different. I might have to get a little scientific on this one. Okay. There we go. Oops. Yeah, so my kids are off to school, so my husband is driving them because they go to two different schools right now. And so it's funny because he's trying to get them like all ready to go this morning, and they were just such a calamity. My daughter's been watching this show called like Dogs in Space or something. So my son wants to sit in my daughter's chair, which he can't. He's not old enough. He's not the right weight to sit in her chair. He has to sit in his chair. But it's become this thing because she just graduated from car seat, like full car seat, to booster seat. So, and I've delayed that for both of them. Like I tend to keep them in the, I follow probably the most conservative rules as it relates to like child safety. I'm like the safest I can be. So I've never been tempted to get my kids into that next level. My daughter definitely now needs to be in that next level, but my son is just over the weight limit and I don't want him there yet. So he's trying to sit in her chair. She's outside singing like Dogs in Space, and oh my goodness, my husband's just like, okay guys, we gotta go. So yeah, that's the kind of morning. I'm gonna use some of this. I've got, not that, I need a thicker paper, not super thick, but like a fold, not quite a folder, maybe, where is, here it is. One of these are perfect for this. These like little file tabs. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm up to today. I have work. I'm planning to maybe do a little gardening. I'm slowly but surely building these beds for my backyard. There's this one extremely tedious part of it though. Like I got these steel beds. I'm replacing some old wooden garden beds that I built years ago, knowing they would only have, you know, so many years, but they've had 10 years. So they're still good to go. I kind of want to change. So they were built from pallets that were untreated, which is important if you're growing food. And these boxes that were built actually for holding elevators, elevator pieces. So, yep, I've had those for a while now. Want to go this way with her, or do we want to go this way? Just I kind of like that as a portrait of her. Yeah, it's pretty cute. We'll use some nice words too to kind of talk about her. Yeah. So anyways, I'm working away on this garden bed, and like the steel beds, they're shaped like this, and you've got to put like these 4-piece kind of hardware to, you know, put them together in 4 different places. But then at the end you have to do this thing that's like so painful, which is these 2 long rods. They're like giant long screws, and you have to put like those turning winding things, oh my gosh, on them. And so as it turns out, first of all, I didn't know that you could screw those windy nuts both ways. So here I am trying to get one all the way down the length of this long screw, not knowing you could go the other way. But I did try. I mean, give me a little credit, but it didn't work. So my husband's like, what are you doing? And I'm trying to put this thing together to get the nut or whatever, the screw nut, all the way down this shaft of this screw, this giant screw. He's like, oh, well, you can, you know, do it this way. But as it turns out, the way that they cut this thing, the reason it wouldn't work is because they sort of cut it off a little like incorrectly, like crooked. They left a little like bit extra on there, and so it would not work properly no matter what I did. So that led me to feeling like, oh, it doesn't work that way. So I didn't know. And then we got that one on, and then it was much easier from that point. But like, oh my gosh, I was just like, okay, I can't deal with this. Ugh. So I have more of those to build, but I also have to relocate my rhubarb today, because I have the champion strain of rhubarb. I love it so much. And I said to my husband, we cannot damage this rhubarb. It's the best rhubarb. It also delivers me lovely rhubarb flowers, which I know they're just sucking the life out of the plant when you're trying to get rhubarb, but I don't care. I love them. They're so pretty. I didn't even know for so many years that rhubarb flowered until I was like, what is this alien thing on my rhubarb? And surely enough, they have these cool flowers. My girlfriend from my hometown, she lives in this house that we used to call the rhubarb lady's house, because when I was a kid there was this lady there, and although she seemed quite grumpy to me, she had a massive rhubarb garden. I didn't really talk to her because she kind of intimidated me. Maybe she wasn't mean at all. I just wasn't very brave, and I didn't really like, if someone didn't seem outwardly friendly, like they were those kind of people who have like resting bitch face or something, which sometimes I think we're all guilty of. I was too scared to talk to her, so I just didn't. There was another lady who was in my town that was the same way, and I'm sure she was lovely. I don't know, their outward appearance, they just didn't look very friendly to me, and I was a nervous kid. So anyway, so she has the rhubarb house now. She lives there, and she told me, oh yeah, they get these flowers, but you need to snap them off because they will, you know, take all the energy from the plant when you're trying to grow your rhubarb. So now just like the rhubarb lady, my friend sells her rhubarb on the side of the road, or she gives most of it away because that's just her heart. So yeah, I gotta replant my rhubarb today. I'm gonna do that because it's starting to come up nicely already. It's great. Okay, so I think I will set this napkin aside. I like having a few little patches of that there. That's cute. That's blue. I think I need some pinky flowers. Hold on one sec. Okay. Sorry for my reach. I'm seeing, I think we have some pink in here. We do. What all do we have? That's a much fuller page of pink. Let's go with the one I've already used though. I love these books. These are the loveliest little fussy cut books. Minte papers. They make all these like basics books of different things you can cut. So I think I want some of these flowers, and I want my bird. So I love the concept of this character from Sesame Street who was introduced to talk to kids in foster care and those with parents with substance abuse issues. I think that's, such a poignant, important thing. I have always loved that Sesame Street addresses the realities of society. And I follow this woman because I'm sort of not sort of, but I do have a plan eventually later in life to probably get into doing some foster care maybe. I want to do it in a certain kind of way though, and I'm not ready for that yet. I want to spend probably several more years sort of learning what it is to be the very best foster parent that I could possibly be, because that's actually not as easy as you think. It's not just about oh, I know how to be a parent, or I know how to be nice, so I know how to be a foster parent. There's actually a lot more required and a lot of things that you don't even realize when you're dealing, with probably somebody who is coming to you on their very worst day. So I do a lot of research and I listen to a lot of things, and it's on my bucket list one day to pick this up. I shouldn't even say bucket list. It's just kind of in my life plan. My husband and I would like to do something meaningful along that line, but we're still kind of figuring it out, and it will involve living in a different place and having property and all of that that's different than what I have now. So there is a really great Instagram account if you're interested in learning more about positive good foster parenting, one that I follow, which is Foster the Teens, and she has taught me, I need to thicken this up. She has taught me so much. I'm very thankful for her. She is a lovely person, and I just share a lot of her beliefs about the system kind of, while well-meaning, is very broken, unfortunately. And also, there's way too many kids in foster care, which stinks. It's too bad. Okay. But I mean, I've learned things like, about not, I don't know, just your expectations can never be as simple, as what your expectations would be. It has to be, if that makes any sense, it has to be very tailored to the situation and the child. And there's some great pointers, especially with teens. She does this cool thing called a teens foster closet, and it's she has obviously a room in her home, and everything in there, there's everything from snacks to personal hygiene products to what have you. And she also helps to work with organizations like Child Protective Services to teach them about the importance of stepping outside of our processes, right? Our professional process, to still be human beings and to provide for very stressed out children what they need in these type of situations. So she is a really great advocate for kids, and I like her. But yeah, it's always fascinating to look back at TV history, you know, for children, because I'm a big fan of Mr. Rogers. I also like The Electric Company, you know, from that time. I also like Sesame Street, but I also know that Mr. Rogers had a lot of feelings about television and that it needed to be very calm and, you know, kind of helping kids regulate their system through more relaxed delivery. Like obviously Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood was a very relaxed show, whereas Electric Company was probably the most loud and, you know, it's like today's kind of Yo Gabba Gabba or something, right? It's like the loud musical kind of show. Yeah, I mean, it's two interesting philosophies, and I kind of don't agree with one or the other. Again, I think it's like, it really just depends on the kid, you know, what's going to appeal to them. And I have to say that these days, it's kind of interesting to me, because children's television, even the educational stuff that's produced by like trustworthy places like PBS in Canada, TV Ontario, you know, the ones who are like pretty trustworthy, it's very much different than when I was a kid. And I find a lot of the classic shows, they almost don't really appeal to kids today at all. Like, they're too slow, or they're not engaging enough. I think like our kids have been influenced by a faster world, maybe. I don't know if that's the way to put it, but I'm always experimenting, and I'm always like explaining the history. Like, you know, we do all sorts of things other than watching TV, but I'm always trying to give my kids perspective about everything I can, you know, with TV now and TV then. And because I think like there's so, I was I went down this weird rabbit hole yesterday online about like, I saw this, you know, video on like my Instagram FYP or something, like, and it was like this woman saying, I took away my children's tablets for 2 weeks, and, you know, we're experiencing so much more family time, so much more engaged children, blah, 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 right? So I am never a fan of those kind of things, I gotta say, because people seem to have lost their ability to understand that the things that we all experience, it's anecdotal, okay? It's your own experience. It's not what everybody is going to experience. And I know, like, we say this thing over and over, and it makes sense, but, you know, people do not operate that way. I have really noticed this. Everything in our lives these days is so heavily influenced by anecdotes, and it's going to get worse with AI when we just have all these, like, very realistic fake videos about history that never happened, or, you know, animals that don't exist. I don't know what's going to happen, but I am admittedly quite shook about it. So as it turns out, like, this woman, you know, she's very I don't know the right way to say this that won't be kind of like sounding against the beliefs of somebody else. So like, I won't say I'm against her beliefs, they're just not mine. So she's very what's the word, crunchy or woo, you know, like believes in a lot of non-scientific based things, which is very opposite to me. And she's doing all this weird stuff like oil pulling, and she's one of these people who believes that like our bodies are full of these weird parasites. So she thinks doing things like I won't even mention it, but different things that you can do to your body that she's actually removing these visible parasites. It's so strange. So then, you know, as you go down the next level deeper, so you go from giving advice on parenting to being a strange health and wellness guru wannabe with no qualifications, to like the next level, which is that she's a reformed addict and she's found Christ, and then I'm like, okay, this is all coming together now. Okay. It was so weird. But yeah, that's the kind of thing that I think parenting advice online we need to be very careful with, and never like more so. I think that a lot of people have really been struggling to have common sense for a while, and It's not a good thing. But all that being said, I'm not trying to be like mean or insulting to anybody. I think you're all allowed to believe in whatever you want. It doesn't need to be the same as me. I just I worry when sometimes we get influenced by stuff like that. Because, you know, these people have no qualifications, but they're online as though they do, and that is troubling to me, because people are very impressionable. And I don't say that like I'm not a part of it. I am. We all are. We're all a part of like how, you know, we can all fall victim to nonsense. And that seems to be getting worse. What do we have here? Oh, okay. What's this? How did the blackbird and throstle with their melodious voices bid welcome to the cheerful spring, and in their fixed months warble forth such ditties as no art of instrument can reach? Not quite. It's a little serious. We need like a light-hearted kind of thing. And this will be when I find like the most dark and deep kind of word snippets ever. I do clip a lot of old poetry, so a lot of it's quite... It's a twinkle, twinkle, little star. That's not quite right either. I might need to just hunt for words and come right back to you so that we can add some words to this. I will return. Okay, so I found this. We lose ourselves in books, we find ourselves there too. So I like this for a myriad of reasons. And I think it will help to make this relevant to wherever I may choose to use it. Honestly, I look at this and I think potentially it will be some kind of a greeting that I send to someone. And it's just really cute. Okay. So then how do I want to put this down? And these birds, I don't know, do we want another bird on here? We could have another bird. I think I will, you know, but I'm going to do it a little differently. So let's just clip one out. Oh, but do I need to back it? I think I do. And we need a little thicker because we're putting it on something thick and we don't want it to like wrinkle and have trouble standing up on the surface, right? So let's do that. Alrighty. Little feet. There we go. But yeah, I've been waking up because, you know, the seasons are changing and I get seasonal insomnia. I've been waking up at like 3 or 4 in the morning. And I just kind of like, I know that I can't just go back to sleep. So I just kind of like have to be quiet. So I either watch a video or kind of, you know, scroll my Instagram feed. And this is how I end up exposed to the most bizarre things that I talk about sometimes here in these videos. But you know who I really enjoy on YouTube? There's this account. She's a musician. Her name is Christina Perry, Perri, and she has a whole playlist of songs that she's done for children, and I think it's called Songs for Pixie, and I don't know if that's a child in her life or if it's like, you know, she's talking about pixies. I'm not sure, but it's all just her beautiful singing of really nice children's songs, like, you know, You're My Sunshine, or she does a really nice version of You'll Be in My Heart. And I was listening to that this morning with my son and he was enjoying that. It's just nice, quiet morning sort of time, you know, nice time. So then let's get a little, what I want is some netting from a book spine. peel this away. Good. And then I want this to kind of be here with this black line. Get rid of that. Just want to have a little bit of a controlled grungy feel. So let's get our glue. We'll glue this to the, or we'll shoot it across the table. I was working on a project yesterday and making some tabs, and I could not hold on to them for the life of me. They just kept flying across the table. I'm like, what is going on? These tabs are haunted. Okay, so let's put that here. And then we'll add the little book quote. Sort of, maybe over the feet. Or maybe... Yeah, that's good. Okay. There. And then I will just glue everything here. A little bit on the mesh. You're not really you won't see the glue at all because it's our glitter glue. It dries clear and matte, so you will not see it. Okay, good. Just got to reposition this the right way. Look like that, yeah. Okay. Then I'm just going to snip a bit of these down. So we still have a little bit of scruffiness there, but not too much. Then I think with this I need to back it, and I also need to round the corners. Glue stick, there it is. Okay. There we go. And I absolutely love using these albums that have the floral. They're so pretty, like all the frames. They really help to make a nice piece of ephemera. Okay. It's funny, I've been watching, obviously Shell and Mary Ellen, who are participating in this challenge with me, and I feel like slowly as these days pass, at times, the things that we send to each other become more and more unhinged, and I'm enjoying the reaction. The way that I put my packages together for them is like over time, I just kind of every day or two I would like build a few more things, put a few more things together, and then eventually we had 30 envelopes for each of them, and sometimes I've sent the same things to both of them, but on different days, and sometimes I've sent something a little wild or specific to their personality that I thought that they may enjoy. Or I sent something that like, I think I've never seen you work with this before, and I would love to see you kind of, get a little challenge, because it's healthy to get outside our boundaries. So let's just add a little grunging. Then we will ink the back as well. So I know this is like bright, but also kind of vintage feeling with the outer frame. And I kind of like that because, it's talking about losing yourself in a book and finding yourself there too. And I think this is such a gentle image that it just evokes a lot of childhood for me. So I hope you enjoyed this little project today. I definitely loved it. And I will talk to you soon. I hope you're well. And yeah, tomorrow we'll be right back at this. So take care. Bye for now.